Yo guys, welcome to the legendary speedrun tutorial for Gravemind. The first thing we're going to do is do the infinite camo glitch, which is done by camoing in a checkpoint and then saving and quitting. So when you come out of quarantine zone, careful not to overmash A. And right when you hear the audio for Gravemind starting is when you want to mash camo. And then just wait a second or two after you camo to save and quit and exit to the dashboard. And after you exit to the dashboard, all you have to do is just mash A. From here on out until you get back into Gravemind. Pressing A will get you through all the loading screens and the menuing. Exiting to the dashboard takes off the envy skull, but since we camoed in the checkpoint, it actually won't know what to do, so it just keeps us camoed. It'll still think we have the envy skull turned on, but we actually don't. So that's how that glitch works. I'm just going to speed up this loading process. So right now, you don't have to press A to get through the cutscene, it'll just put you at the beginning. The first thing you want to do is needle the right-hand brute, and then once you put enough needles in him, go to the left, and pick up 2 plasma rifles, and dual wield them, and take out the 4 grunts that spawn. That's 1, that's 2, this is the 3rd, and this is the 4th. Then once all 4 grunts are dead, you want to be dual wielding needlers, and you want to stand in this corner for a second to open this door. And we're going to stand in a pretty precise spot inside. And you want to look at the lights up top there on the wall, and you want to have them lined up like I do. And specifically you want to look at these 2 lights here. They both need to be cut off by the door in some way, and they can either be equally showing, or the one on the left needs to be showing less than the one on the right. What we're doing is standing in a place where an enemy spawns, but since you're standing in the exact position, it doesn't know where to put them, so it just doesn't spawn the enemies, and we're doing some wave skips by standing here. And then all you want to do is just wait for this group here, and then needle that grunt that spawns behind you, and then come over here and get the 3 brutes that come up from the lift. And at this point you want to make sure you leave 1 grunt alive, so you only want to kill 2 here. Here's 1. 2. We killed a 3rd one at the very beginning when they spawned. Then you want to find your way up here from that pedestal, and there's going to be 2 brute spawns. They can either be 1 on each side or 2 on 1, and in this case we got bad spawns here and got both on the other side. But I knew the other one didn't die, so I decided to take out this guy and hope the brute came down. Ideally you want to leave a grunt alive when you're doing this next wave skip, so it makes it a little easier, because this one, you have to do it very quick. And it just so happened that in this case, I left a brute alive instead of a grunt. But ideally, you want to kill a brute for his carbine, and then as you're standing in this position, you can take out that grunt. Then once you get that checkpoint, you can go ahead and start heading to the door to meet Cortana, and just wait for it to open.
Got to take it from him. Let me get these doors. Go. It'll be easier to track truth if I stay in the...
You can actually hop on these corners on these walls and cut off a little bit of time by doing that, but it's a little difficult. You can just walk around if you want.
Right this way.
You can do a crouch slide off that slope there. If you don't have a carbine at this point, you want to pick one up from this box and jump down here, but make sure you land on this platform before you fall, or else you'll hit the fall timer. And then you want to take out this jackal sniper and take his sniper. And you can actually do some crouch slides off these slopes as well. When you walk through this door, just be sure you don't touch or alert any enemies, because you want to... This will help you get a checkpoint before prison skip if they're not alerted. And at this point you should have a sniper, and you should have a needler or a plasma rifle or a plasma pistol. Any one-handed weapon works. And coming up here we have the most important trick in Halo 2. Once you get through this door, go ahead and try and snipe this jackal. It's okay if you don't. And hopefully you get a checkpoint in this room, whether it's the one we just got. Sometimes you'll get one at this wall, which is the best one. And you want to fire at this wall here. And then watch your radar for the 2 brutes on the top right of the radar. These 2 guys here. And you want, right when you see them, you want to come out and stand here. Hopefully one of the brutes goes up and the other one stays down. If they both go up, then you need to revert. But if they both go down, you need to revert. One of them, at least one of them, needs to stay up here. And when that happens, this will happen. He'll stand there and then jump away from it. And once he jumps away, you want to stand in front of him. And once he touches you, you want to pull out your sniper. And he should hit you down the lift straight, and he'll come down with you. And you need to make sure he's fairly close to you. If he's too far away, you can't perform the glitch. And pardon me switching to default controls. You need to be on default for this. I play on green thumb. Alright, so once you hit this loading zone is when the actual trick starts. Make sure you hear Cortana's dialogue first before you start doing this. All you want to do is mash A and B at the same time, and X alternatively. So A, B, and then X. So 2 buttons together, then 1, then 2, then 1. That's all that is. And you just want to do that as fast as you can, and you'll actually go back up the lift. And go ahead and swap your non-sniper rifle weapon for a sword. And at this point you should have sword and sniper. Then you want to cancel off that first elite. And try and get a cancel off a bug here. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you won't even need to cancel off a bug if you get a good enough one off the elite. And then just keep trying to get cancels. Find a brute in here and cancel off him to this door. And once you come through this door here, head right. And then zoom in once and look for the hunter in the middle and try and sword fly off of him over the wall. We finally got it there. Then head right here. Make sure you jump onto this ledge that raises up and zoom in twice on this jackal. And you want to do a sword fly off him. Make sure you jump right after and switch to your sniper. And make sure you also hit one of those pillars there so you don't fall to your death. Anytime you see one of these slopes right before a teleporter, you can go ahead and crouch slide off those. There's a trick called crouch outs on these teleporters, and once you cross that last pedestal there, you can go ahead and mash crouch a few times, and there's a chance it'll go through the teleporter, and it'll let you down a little bit faster if you don't manage to get the full crouch out anyway, so it's worth doing. And then you want to follow my pathing up here, and just walk across this bridge. And there's a pretty scary grenade jump here. All you want to do is just throw it at the edge of this corner, and then jump a little bit to the right so you make it all the way across. It's really laggy here, so that makes that grenade jump kind of scary. And you just want to continue over this way and jump back down. And you want to zoom in twice on your sniper rifle here and look at one of these brutes and do a sword fly off him. Don't jump until the very end, and make sure you switch to your sniper right after the fly. And you'll go all the way to that door. Sword that first bug, and go ahead and keep the second one alive. You can actually get a really nice cancel as we did there through this room. Sometimes they'll get jackal spawns here. In this case we actually did, so go ahead and do a cancel off them if you did. And there's another teleporter here. Again, try and do the crouch out at the end. We did not hit it there. It's kind of difficult to do. I'm not really sure exactly how they work, but I do know that at least pressing crouch gets you down from the teleporter sooner. But once in a while you'll get lucky and you'll go all the way past the teleporter. And there's just one last teleporter here. Make sure you have your sniper out after this teleporter. Once you get through this door, there's going to be a couple of brute spawns that come through the door above you. And you just want to be zoomed in once, and then execute a sword fly off a brute up there. And you should, with a good one, make it all the way to the door. And in this area is probably the hardest sword fly in the game, in my opinion. You want to line it up so you're just barely to the left of that ledge to my right. And you want to line it up so when you hit this sword fly, you actually make contact with the wall and it pushes you left into the next area. So you just want to look down here for a spawn, and you want to be standing 1 or 2 feet away from this wall so you make connection with it. And it needs to be in your you need to be able to see it when you're zoomed in. That's how I can tell that I'm in the right place. And once you finally hit a fly, it should deflect you across this way and into the next area. You have a very limited time to hit that fly because the enemies are constantly moving down there and they can possibly die. Once you get through this door, you can cancel off this elite there. And just go ahead and swap your sniper for the fuel rod in this room. And just walk straight past the teleporter into the next door. Just sword this jackal that comes through. You might be able to cancel off him if you want. Look at this box here when you get through that door. This elite will always jump up there, and you want to execute a sword fly off him right away. You only get one chance at that. If you didn't hit that fly, there's a chance somebody can get in the shade turret and do a fly there. And you can try and sword fly off that. Once you get through this door, find a elite to the right there to sword fly off of. He'll always be there for the most part, and you just want to kill him. There's going to be 3 elites that you need to kill first in this room. So that was the first one. Here's the second 2. Then once all the ultras are dead, you want to find the hunters and fuel rod them, and also the bugs if there's any left alive. So the correct order you want to kill all the enemies is the elites, then the hunters and the bugs, and then the brutes. If you do it in that order, you get to skip the last wave of brutes, because there's nothing left for them to kill, so they don't actually spawn. So that was the last hunter there, and there's no bugs alive, so I can begin killing the rest of the brutes. So once the last brute is dead, you'll hear Cortana come up on the thing, and just listen for her dialogue, and you'll be able to head to this door, and she'll open it for you. Make sure you're looking at her. Make sure there's a direct line of sight between you and Cortana when she spawns, so the dialogue starts right away. Once you get through this door, just do a sword fly off that ultra there to start the dialogue a little faster. And that's actually the end of Gravemind. So now I'll just watch the entire run of Gravemind without any slowdowns, and I'll see you guys then. Thanks, guys.
Split them up, one in each phantom.
The faster you can kill those brutes, the better. Coward!
The demon has infiltrated the council chamber. Protect the hierarchs. Seal the exits.
Oh, I don't think so. Watch out for the captain. He's got a brute shot. Put me down on one of the pedestals near the door. That prophet, Truth, he has the index. You've got to take it from him. Let me get these doors. Go. It'll be easier to track truth if I stay in the network. Right this way.
Slay the demon on sight!
Wait a minute. I'm reading marine IFF transponders. The signals are originating somewhere below your position. Here, Chief. Jump in. There are two groups of Marines in this detention block. I'll zero their locations. You neutralize the guards. Chief, come to the lower level. The Marines are just inside. Careful of the guards. Excellent. Truth is broadcasting on the move. It'll make it much easier to track.
The elites have failed to protect the prophets, and in so doing put all our lives at risk.
I've got a fix on truth just outside this tower, Chief. There's an exit nearby. Hurry. You wouldn't believe the number of kill systems the Covenant are throwing down around me. Not to worry, it's pretty sloppy stuff. I guess they never expected a hostile intelligence to penetrate their network from the inside.
At this moment, the council is gathered.
shortcut, straight through the mausoleum. Look on the bright side. For now, they seem much more interested in killing each other.
You might consider sitting this one out.
Hold it! Contempt.
Hang on. I'm picking up 2 more transponders. It's the Commander and Johnson. They're closing on Truth's position, Chief. They'll need your help. This way, Chief.
This isn't good. I am getting confirmed reports of flood leaving in Everclad's wreckage. Let's get the index and find a way out of here before things get really ugly.
As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on Uprising. BBK out.
Split them up. One in each phantom.